Let me just unmute myself now. Let me know if you're able to hear me, Jason. I have to get the actual game itself set up, but I want to get the stream going just in case. That way that's not... like way after I said I would get this running. Because I haven't played this game before on a stream. Figure out OBS for this, but I think it should be fairly straightforward, I hope. And thanks, I'm glad you can hear me. That's always good to have one less thing to worry about. So there's some customization options I'm doing for this. And I'm just going to try the setup well enough the way I like it. I think I got this looking pretty good though. Oh, that's right, I have to get my controller for this because I like playing this game with a controller. Hopefully it's already configured. I didn't have it the day before anyway. But these things tend to get reset, which it seems to have been in this case. Okay, Windows, how do I add controller? Windows controller. I think those just pop up in the settings. Technically it's under Bluetooth, I think. Yeah, Bluetooth and other devices. So yeah, so I hope everything's No, I thought it was set, but it's not, never mind. I hope everything gets better with your mother. With being sick. The time can be a bit of a variable. Like I said in the chat, my mom had it for like a little bit longer than anyone else, even though we all kind of got sick around the same time. And she was like sick to the point where she was kind of just like laying down, trying to like rest, but she had like a bad headache and I think body aches. Whereas when I had it, kind of like you, I just had like the fever for a few days and then it pretty much passed. I didn't get any coughs or any weird effects. So it's like, I want to say it's mostly related to age and stuff like that. But the funny thing is my dad had it at the same time and he didn't get anything either. I don't even think he really got a fever either. Like maybe a little bit of one. Oh, Bluetooth is turned off. That's probably why. I wonder why it got turned off. Huh. Okay, now that's okay. I might have turned it off accidentally when doing other things. Okay, so that should be good. I guess the best way of doing this is running the game and then seeing if OBS detects it. Well, it's causing the music to freak out. Funny enough. I wonder what game resolution this is. Game resolution. I wonder what resolution the game is. Why did I say that like I'm completely idiotic? You know, the music. Okay, I'm gonna mute the soundtrack volume, cause that's starting to get annoying here, duplicated like that. There we go. If I have the game running in the background, I may as well have that muted. And this is gonna take me like another minute or two to actually get working. So capture the game window may not be working immediately. Or maybe I have to, let's see. Nope, still isn't capturing it. I thought maybe I would just have to tab into the actual game window, but that's not working either. I wonder if this game has windowed mode. It's funny because I don't want it running for the other games, but for this game it doesn't really matter. Window size, full screen? Yeah, let's do full screen. Maybe this is full screen with the windowed full screen. I don't know if that is what this refers to. I'm gonna try this out. Let me quit out of the game. Yeah, this like changes the resolution when I'm doing this. So I get the feeling it's running at a non-native resolution. I also get the impression maybe I could do it like this. I know it's kind of useless me saying this because you can't see what I'm doing anyway. I don't actually know what this refers to. Anyway, so I guess I'll explain exactly what I'm doing in case people are unfamiliar with this who are watching this. Recently, relatively recently, they released a... Okay, this is actually running now. I'm not showing it on the screen yet, but I will... Actually, I'm going to close it so that I can talk normally without hearing the game. So this is a version of the game that has been made basically a port from the original game to the PC. I don't know how exactly they did it, but hey, I don't need to know the technical assessment of the game to actually run it. All I know is it was kind of a pain to set up because they can't actually provide the assets to you, so you have to do it on your own. And it involved getting some files and then processing them through this special method and whatever. I got it running now. I would make a guide on how to do it, but honestly, I already forgot how to do it, even though I just did it like 2 weeks ago or whatever. So we're going to run this. I think there are different mods for this game that you can do to set it up to run in different ways if you want to. It comes with a couple of default configuration changes you can make. Like, I'm going to have it so you could turn while dashing, you could break pots with the sword. I think the upgraded swords anyway. You can even use the mirror to go to the light world from the dark world and vice versa, which normally only works the one way. But we're going to see what exactly that changes if we play it this way. Seems like it could be an interesting variation of the game, at least. It's one I've never done before. Okay, I think I'm ready to jump into this now. Oh, the one other thing I should do is open the chat in a different window so I can make this larger if I need to read it after the fact. Okay, it popped up on my monitor all the way on the other side from where I expected it to be. That's no problem. Just drag this anywhere. Okay, it popped up. I don't want to hear myself. Why did I open up in a different window? Weird. Usually it just opens up the chat, but open up the full stream. Now it's good. Okay. I'll keep OBS over here so I can see it reliably. I guess I'll keep Discord around just in case anyone wants to chat with me on Discord. Well, not really chat with me on Discord, but sometimes I see people post on Discord instead, and I'm like, okay. Should probably see what they're saying there just in case. There we are. Alright, I think this is all systems go, so let me switch over to the game screen. And we will be playing A Link to the Past. Or Zelda 3. For whatever reason, that's what they call it in the file for it. Yeah, and see, it does work. It wasn't loading initially, but we have it. The only other thing is when we get into the actual game itself, if it will have everything at the right resolution. I think it's gonna work fine. It's one of the first games you played? Yeah, it's one of the first ones that I played too, and one of the most memorable for me. So I tested this out before. It works pretty well. Didn't have any major problems from that I can see. Let's go make another character. We'll start over from scratch. Yeah, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Please help me. Oh, you know, I didn't watch the intro video. Oh, well. The whole backstory of the game, like that matters. People actually pay attention to the game story. Some people did. Some of us did, anyway. I actually thought this game story was pretty cool. I like the fact that it gives you a little bit of context as to what you're doing, unlike the first Zelda game, where you're just dropped into the world. If you didn't read the manual, you have no clue what's going on. I mean, you don't even know where to go in the beginning of the first Zelda game. This one, they even tell you where to go. Can you believe that? What hand-holding. Albeit they didn't add a giant quest marker to show you where on screen you need to go at all times. The thing that I kind of go back to is when I thought it was kind of silly in games when they started adding that stuff was in Final Fantasy VII when they had the giant finger. And there's even this big tutorial section about, oh, this is the finger. And Cloud's like, what the hell is a finger doing here? So you may notice there is a bit of a widescreen effect to this game now. It does this little black bar at the side when you're on the side of it, and there's nothing else to render. That's kind of inevitable from what I can see here. Also, when it's doing transitions like that, it seems to bring them back for some reason. Link, I didn't want you involved, but somehow you got involved anyway. It's almost like it was destiny, but take the sword, and it's dangerous to go along. Or something like that. Alright, so these guys are no problem for us with our sword. We can ignore them if we want to, because you don't really get much here. Magic and some more rupees. Normally that'd be the lantern if you didn't take the lantern. Because I give it to you several times. Now, I'm old at this point. when this game came out, I was fairly young still. I don't know exactly how old the game is. I think it said at the beginning. It was maybe 91. So I was still pretty young, and I probably watched my cousin play this more than anything. Because when I was young, I used to hang out with him a lot, and I'd watch him play games, and I'm sure he probably played this among them. Well, I know for a fact he had this game at his house, he played at his house a bunch of times. And eventually I did get this on my own when I got a Super Nintendo as well. I want to say, I guess it was 3 or something. Maybe 4. Depends on if he got this game right away, because I don't know if he did. Actually, I was going through some of the old home videos that we have. Because when I was young, my grandfather used to take a lot of videos of pretty much everything. So there's like a birthday. I want to say it was my cousin's birthday. So that would be right around the summertime, and it seemed like it was the summertime. And he got the Super Nintendo for it. So I don't know if systems came out around the same time back then. If they were always out in the winter time. Because that probably was the winter of like 91. That the Super Nintendo came out, if I'm doing this right in my head. And then I guess this would have been like in the summer of 92 that he got it. But anyway, I remember him like getting the console unwrapped, and then there's like another shot of us upstairs in his room, and he had already gotten it set up and was using it. I think he was using the Super Stick too. Which, if someone's an expert on that, they can probably say whether or not that was a first thing that came out for the system, or maybe actually got the system a couple years after it came out. Well, I don't know at this point. But when I was younger, I kind of got all the systems around the same time. At least the ones that were out. Because I remember having the NES and playing the Super Nintendo. And kind of just playing them alongside each other, even though the games are obviously much different. didn't really make much of a difference to me. I enjoyed playing Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World as well at the same time. I feel like it's easier to kill him now. Maybe it's because usually he's despawned. Yeah, I understand it all. Played this game before. What are you taking me for? Oh, and I think that chest would also have a lantern in it if you hadn't acquired one already. But we're all good on that. Yeah, the pots are extremely overpowered for some reason in this game. Don't know why they made it that way. I think the fact that it's widescreen now means that the enemy can see you from further away and he starts approaching sooner. Because normally I have to take the pot and go all the way over to him, and that time he actually kind of came to us. Which made it a little bit easier even. Yeah, you can make them fall off like that. And they freeze in midair. Oh, and also if I have this set up correctly, this is running with what they call MSU music. And essentially what that means is the NES, or the Super Nintendo even as well, could only play a limited number of sounds or samples at the same time. Which means if you had different sound effects playing concurrently, eventually would overlap on one another and they would just kind of drop certain sound inputs. So notoriously what would happen in this case is you kind of have the sound effect of the rain in the background. You had, you know, the soldiers charging, Link swinging his sword, this sound. And it would actually make some of the samples in the song drop if you pay enough attention to it like I did. But thanks to MSU Music, it never has that issue anymore, because it's actually being run through a different audio program, I think. Don't quote me on that, I have no idea. It's a feature they have on some emulators, and they worked in this as well. What's funny is, I think even if you play this on the re-release for the Switch or anything like that, it's still gonna have the same issue, because it's emulated to do that. One of the limitations. Console emulation. Oftentimes, the amateurs do it better than the professionals. And yes, I think some amateurs are really weird. I don't know why. You don't need to kill those guys. There's some guys you need to kill here because they have keys, but those ones don't. You can get money from them, as you're seeing here. Whoa. My controller, I think, kind of disconnected for a second. That's why I stopped it. If I remember correctly, wait, let me see. Do I have an attached? Oh, I do. I have like a little antenna for the Bluetooth on my computer, but it kind of fell down. Let me see if I can get that angled correctly. All right, we'll see if that works any better. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I feel like Bluetooth is not all that it's cracked up to be. For some reason, especially when I'm trying to use it for something like this, like connect a controller to my PC, it feels like it's always dropping connection unless I actually have it wired with USB. It's like the technology's not exactly new at this point. And I'm seriously like 2-3 feet away from the damn antenna. Maybe the batteries are dying. I don't know. I can't tell you when I last charged things. So the pots don't break here. They need the upgrade sword for that. You have to have the Master Sword or better. Well, technically I think it's all the Master Sword. It just gets tempered by the Dwarven Smith. Or Smith's Dwarven. That's where you need to get the key. We've actually done a good job of avoiding damage so far, haven't we? I'll probably change it in the stream now. These mice. Hey, there we go. What'd I say? And again, these mice can be a bit unpredictable the way they move around. It's hard to tell exactly where they're going to go. It's like people driving in real life. Most of the damn time, you don't know when. I was going somewhere just the other day, and I don't know what someone was doing, but they like quickly like swerved into the lane I was driving in. Luckily, I wasn't like too close to where they were. But I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna follow from a distance because I don't trust you one bit now. And they kind of quickly swerved out of the lane as well. Probably just had to go and grab their phone or something because they couldn't wait a damn second. Yeah, Link helped me. Thank you, thank you. You know what's funny? So they have, I think they call him the priest at some point. But it almost looks more like a yarmulke on his head, to be honest. I don't know if it's supposed to be. I guess they don't say exactly what he's a priest of, huh? I mean, usually that'd be like a rabbi, wouldn't it? I guess, I don't know. I have not been to church in I don't know how long. So, did they have like little things on their heads for priests in Catholicism or other Christianity divisions? Maybe. Actually, I think they do. I have no idea what it'd be called though. I'm just showing off how uneducated I am about that sort of thing. Okay, so as usual in this game, you don't really have to go to anywhere in particular. You kind of start off with heart pieces kind of all around you in this game. I think I usually get the one in the forest first. There are some weird effects in this game. Or this port, I should say. Yep, this is the one I remember the most. You just drop down here. And the funny thing is, I always forget whether or not you get another heart piece in a cave near here. Because I think there's one of those gambling games where you can pay to open up a chest. But I think that the one here doesn't have it. It's like one in the dark world, and... Actually, it might just be that one. I think there's just one in this game that does that. There's the chess mini game in the town, but in the dark world. I think they call it the town of outcasts instead of Kakariko. And I guess the other slightly gamblish game is the, gamblish is the word I'm going with here, would be the digging game. And that's the one that's all the way south of the map in the dark world. And we're not going to have that for some time now. I'm not sure if in this version of the game, they make it so you can actually carry the shovel normally too. Because they had that in a couple of the other versions I played. And the other versions I played were the ones for emulators, just kind of, what do they call it? I guess ROM hacks, but it's not like a ROM hack where they completely changed the game, they just kind of added features to this game. Still feels like the same game, but they added a lot of things that are actually in this one. Like, I think they added the dashing and turning at the same time. I think they added in so you can carry more rupees as well, which should be a thing in this one. Should be able to buy a thing from him as well. And by a thing, of course I mean the bottle. I'm just being super specific by saying thing. So if I remember correctly, there's a heart piece as well as this. This is just money. The heart piece is a little bit more valuable. I can't remember the last time I failed to do this. I don't think I have this properly memorized. I mean, to be fair, I think I have most of this game properly memorized. One of the few ones that I actually do. This is a game I play all the time. I don't even know what number of time I've played this on my channel. And I mean just the base game. I know I did it once very early into my history of Let's Playing games, maybe around like 2012, 2013. And I also played it again sometime later. I'm coming down here because there's a building you can get bombs in guaranteed. And I want to get those. There we go. And I can't even count the number of times I did randomized races of this game with Mike. We've done that a bunch. Not a long time now. But when we did, we had to have done it at least 3 times. Just of this Zelda game in particular. We also did A Link to the Past. Yeah, we did A Link to the Past as well as A Link to the Past, but also A Link to the Past. Nah, Ocarina of Time is what I meant to say. But with that, I don't remember exactly what we did with it. I don't know if we streamed it, if I recorded it and then never uploaded it, or if it was uploaded on Mike's channel or he streamed it. I think I talked to him to get some information about the Elder, right? You don't really have to because the game doesn't force you to do things, but I'll just get it anyway, because why not? And even with the randomized races, I think some of them I uploaded them, and then some of them I just kind of forgot about, to be honest. There was one race we did in particular, where we had this guy join us who was like a viewer of the channel. I think mostly when I say a viewer of the channel, he was watching the other races we did this game, and then he kind of just messaged me out of the blue and was like, hey, would you mind if I joined you for one of these races? I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess so. Because I could be pretty easygoing about that sort of thing, and I'm like, alright, sure. Let's see where that goes. Yeah, it'll be interesting. And we did the race with the guy, and it was kind of a bit weird, as you could expect. Kind of doing something with someone you don't really know, and I think we talked to like a little bit beforehand. So it was like a little awkward, not gonna lie. If you are watching this here in 2023 from whenever we did that in like 2015 or something, maybe it was 2016, I don't remember when it was exactly. You know, no personal offense, I'm just telling it like it is. Sure, you're a nice guy and all, but it's weird when you're kind of getting to know someone in the middle of just playing a game, right? It's kind of hard to develop a rapport with someone right off the bat. Anyway, I think we did that race once with him, and I think we actually all did it in one go, too. So, it's not like it was ever unfinished, but I just never really uploaded because it kind of felt weird. In all honesty. Like, the guy had this weird kind of rivalry with me, like wanting to beat me in the game. And then Mike was kind of like the odd man out in a way. There's more I could have done in town, right? Oh, that's right. I missed the... well, we'll do the race later. It actually doesn't matter when you do it. If you keep on going south in the town, you can do that little race to get the heart piece, and I missed out on it for now, but you just go back and do it later anyway. It doesn't particularly matter when you do it in the game. It's only if you really want to get another full heart container, which we didn't get now. But will we have trouble with this game? I think not. We'll be perfectly fine. I wonder... oh, you know what? The control stick works in this too. I wasn't sure if it was going to. I was only using the directional pads controller. The game's actually being very generous right now for money. I feel like usually it doesn't give me all this much off the bat. I don't know. It must be my lucky day. Let's see how this goes. Oh, and, you know, I was talking about playing this game earlier in the week, and I was going to do this on Friday night, because I'd have a bunch of time to do this. When I started this, for reference, it was Saturday around 10 p.m. So I'm not going to play the full thing, unless I don't think I'm going to play the full thing. I have a habit of kind of doing things when I say I'm not going to. So I may have jinxed it. I don't even know why I talk to you right now. I'm not going to even pay attention to it. No, well, whatever. I have to ask him about it now. You don't have to speak to him now. This is what happens when you're talking and trying to do commentary and play the game at the same time. You kind of go on an autopilot. It doesn't even make any damn sense. It'd be one thing if my autopilot took me exactly where I wanted to be, but it took me here. We're end up wasting time, huh? Well, anyway. So, I don't think I'm gonna play the whole thing. We'll just do like an... I think the light was really... Maybe we'll get to the dark world earlier than I think. But I was gonna say about 2 hours of this, so I think that would take us about to the end of the light world. Beginning of the dark world, maybe. Depends on how quickly we get through this. Try to remember, because when I did the race of this, it wasn't really that long. Maybe that was 3 hours at top, so I guess we would be at the dark world. Because the dark world is the longer half of this game anyway. I guess it doesn't make sense going to the longer half. It's like the longer act of this game. I guess I'm talking about if you were to divide it into different themes, like one being the light world, one being the dark world, it's the longer of the two. And I will say, one of the funny things is coming back to this game, after, you know, the last time I played it, well, I mean, the last time I played it was the vanilla game, because you saw I was playing a little bit of it before. But having played it a bunch with the randomizer, you get used to playing the game a different way, because you're just kind of looking around for all the different chests, how to get to the chest as soon as possible. And then when you're playing it vanilla like this, it's just try to remember what are the shortcuts you can take with the chest you don't really need to bother ever opening. Because there actually are quite a few of them that never have to be opened. Like, I think this one we could have ignored. If you go all the way to the right instead of the left when you're on the top floor, I think that takes you to the map, which you also don't need to get. And I didn't get it because I actually remembered that one. The only thing you need here is the big key, and that's in the chest you actually can't really avoid. I think there are some maps, dungeons in this game, where getting the key for the big key, specifically, you could actually miss it because it's somewhere not where you would necessarily go to. Oh, you know, that's weird. I noticed that when I was playing the test run, too. So, normally those things appear behind you when you leave the room. And for whatever reason, in this version of the game, they actually go ahead of you. I don't know why that is. Something about the game's a little different than the original for whatever reason. That just plays out differently. So these skeletons just jump up annoyingly, sometimes dodging you. The ones that are a real hassle are the red ones, because they will throw a bone at you. Normally when someone throws you a bone, that's a good thing, right? In this case, it's not. Well, that's going to double back, yeah. So we'll go around this way. Avoid taking our damage there. But this is the Zelda game that I've played the most, I would say, out of any of them. Quite easily. I would say most likely on the sheer amount of times I've played the game, as well as the amount of times I've just put hours into it. Because it's not the longest Zelda game, but I've definitely played it more than any other. There we go. Didn't have to take damage from... Well, now I did. This is an easier way of killing them, by the way. Use a damn pot on them. You could also use the bow and arrow you just got. And you have to actually make sure it's facing you. And it has its eye open as well. Oh yeah, we can get money now. And I probably will. Because you have infinite money now in this game. Or pretty much close to it, right? I think the new maximum is 9,999. Which, I mean, it may as well be infinite. There's only a handful of times you actually have to spend money in this game. The main one is when you speak to the King Zora. Other than that, it's like... useful for, I think, taking part in some minigame. Well, some minigames isn't some. Multiple ones. Pattern's random for the cannonballs in that room. There are times I hit them and other times I don't. And you would think I'd probably learn it by now if it was something so straightforward. Actually, it wouldn't surprise me if it was. These guys, you could like actually kill. Oh! Alright, I think that's the first time I've ever actually done that. Yeah, I was gonna say, there are ways you could kill them in one go. And we just did it, so good me. I don't think I've ever actually done that. I know it was possible, though. Usually they close their eyes right before I hit them with the second one. Or I just, like, completely miss on hitting the second one. And you can kill these guys pretty simply by doing this. Never even need to use the sword at all. Of course, the last one will turn red and jump around like an idiot. It's gonna get more difficult for you. There we go. Use up a bunch of our arrows, but hey. When's the next time we need to use an arrow anyway in this game? You can actually pretty much get away with not using the arrows again for quite some time. Of course, it is useful for certain enemies. Just shoot them with an arrow instead. See, there is some stuff I don't really care to learn about. I just know in general, the arrows do more damage than the first sword. Now, if you get better damage with the other swords than the arrows, I'm not actually sure of. I don't know how they all compare to one another in terms of damage. But you can see, now we can turn around as we are running. The funny thing is, running is still not particularly effective upstairs. For whatever reason, when he's running upstairs or downstairs even, it's kind of slow. Let's see if we can demonstrate. I don't know why that's the thing. I guess maybe they're trying to teach a lesson to kids, right? It's not a good idea to run up and down stairs. I mean, that's probably true. Maybe they were required to put that in the game just to make sure that no one got sued. Okay, so let's visit the swamp. I always like this part of the game for some reason. Ah, the swamp is just always very scenic for me. Well, at least in the light world version of it. When it's in the dark world, it's not quite the same feel, huh? Sure, we'll get there soon enough. And we always have the option of saving the fish if we try. If the fish will cooperate. Avoid this guy. You walk slower in the tall grass. It's a shame, but it's true. Yeah, take the rupees. Ow! You dirtbag. How dare you? Alright, we can also take whatever's in the chest here, which I don't remember. It's probably going to be more rupees. Or maybe some arrows. Oh no, bombs, which we don't really need. Well, there we go. More bombs yet again. Oh, we killed the little shrub bush monster thing. Oh well. Now, I think this one just has more rupees in it. And this is the point where if it was the normal game, I probably wouldn't bother going in here. Since we would hit our rupee limit pretty soon after this. Well, we can get away with it now. Assume I do have that programmed correctly. And the limit is up to 9,000 now. Over 9,000. No, I'm not gonna say it. I know. Actually, I wonder if a lot of people don't even know what that is anymore. Just getting the hinted reference to that. It's pretty old as a meme. Then again, I really don't expect that many of the younger kids are going to be watching these, so... Alright, fine. Hit me and run off then, why don't you? It is funny to think about how pretty much at this point, it's a whole new generation watching, well, not my videos in particular, I don't think. But, you know, watching videos online, being part of the online community, whatever the hell that means. It's a different world. A lot's changed over the years from when I started doing this, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to think that there would be anyone that's younger than 30 watch. Oh, damn, there I go, getting killed. Wow, I didn't expect that to happen. Damn. Well, there you go. One of the rare game overs that I'll get in this game. Part of it is I do have it turned off, so it's not doing the beeping. So I'm not surprised. I was just kind of focusing on trying to talk about being old, and the game decides that, fuck you, you're gonna die, man. Anyway, we really got what we needed from there anyway. The only funny thing was, if we went to the other room, we would have gotten some fairies, which would have saved us. But, yeah, we're not getting those now, are we? Alright then. So, the next place we could go to... Actually, I can get some fairies around here, I think. Yeah. But yeah, so let's all get old man, get off my lawn thing. So, you know, these days, I don't really know what kind of games these kids are mostly interested in. I think the last game that I played that was really like for younger kids, and it's always weird for me to say this because the game itself, I always say, probably shouldn't be played by kids, was the Danganronpa games, right? That was more of like the younger game aimed at kids that I was playing at the time. And I could tell from the way like people acted on those videos, and just like the way they sounded, that a lot of them did seem like fairly young. Yeah, you can break it that way if you have the boots, by the way, which I kind of forgot about. And really, I'm kind of okay with not having younger people watch these streams because I don't know, it always is a bit awkward. For me, anyway. Because I tend to just assume when I'm talking to people online that they're kind of like the same as me in terms of like Asian interests. And that's not always the case. I'm like, oh wow, like I'm talking to like someone that is like 100% different than me, and I don't know how to handle this. Kind of sounds weird, I guess. But I guess it's probably because I'm not really someone that goes talking to people that are all that different than me most of the time. So now I'm trying to do that thing where, you know, my brain can't process two things at once. I don't think there's anything else we had to get in town. I think we did collect everything else. Did I ever hear the Legend of Zelda song on LimeWire that was credited to System of a Down? You know what's funny? I remember reading about that, but no, I don't think I ever listened to it. But I remember reading about that. I want to say years and years ago now. Like a decade and a half ago or something. That like there was these rumors of like some Zelda game or a Zelda song made by System of a Down. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't understand that at all. Especially because I never really listened to System of a Down or really understood what they were all about. They're always like a kind of a strange... I don't know what the hell I'm doing now because I'm ripping into things at full speed. Because the only thing I think about when I hear System of a Down is that one song they had. That was out when I was in high school, and it was like playing all the damn time. So like go into the desert or whatever. Like, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be some like anti-Iraq war song or something. But I can never understand what they were saying half the damn time, other than like the main refrain of the song about like going to the desert and having a party. But like essentially it's like a euphemism for like bombing the hell out of them, I think. At least I think that's what the point of the song was. Maybe I completely misunderstood it. I don't know. But yeah, particularly the reason why I heard it in college, or in high school. It's not like one of those stories keeps on getting exaggerated every time. Yeah, in back in middle school, no, in high school, in college, in graduate school. No, it was in high school. At the time, I don't know why, but I feel like in like both 11th grade and 12th grade, half the damn time we were doing gym was in the weight room, right? And I don't know why that was, because it wasn't that way in like 10th or 9th grade. And I just remember like, you know, the gym teacher, you know, with the radio on, playing the music, and that song was on like all the damn time. God damn it. That, like, I don't know, it's like a weird mix. I don't know, maybe like the teacher thought it would be cool to kind of like mix up the playlist for the students and something like for him as well, because there was also a lot of AC/DC playing all the damn time. I swear I heard like the entire AC/DC discography from my class. Yeah, I think they're super political. I don't really know much about them, but from that one song, that's what I gathered. Smash Mouth. I only know the 2 songs from Smash Mouth, which are, well, All-Star, of course. I couldn't think of the name for a second. And, what's the name of it? Walking on the Sun? I forget the exact name of the song. But I know it, the chorus is, you may as well be walking on the sun. Or something to that effect. And I think they did a cover song of, some old, was it 50s or 60s song? I forget what song it is and who did it. Maybe it was the Monkees? No, I don't think it's the Monkees. I don't know who it was. Okay, so this is where I was kind of mentioning before. You can kind of go out of your way and skip getting the big key if you don't come over here. So I'm going to try to do this. I'm also going to try to keep an eye on my health, but we have the fairies now, so it shouldn't hurt us too much. Anyway, it's kind of funny. I always, I don't know why this comes up from time to time, but I see people every now and then, you know, they complain about gym class or ever not liking it, and I never really had much problems with it. And I say this, I was not an athletic person. I didn't really, do sports at that age, or neither was I particularly, like, fit. Like, I wasn't chubby. I wasn't fat. I was just, like, skinny, I guess. Skinny to average. And, like, wasn't built with, like, any muscle. So I, like, hardly put anything towards that. But, I don't know. Our gym teachers just never really put a lot of emphasis on having to do that sort of thing. Thankfully, it was pretty chill. Okay. I was kind of on autopilot, so I didn't know if I'd gotten the item or not. I'm like, I definitely got the item, right? You were a goth kid, so you're required not to try and PE. You know what's funny about school these days? Or school these days? Like, thinking back to school these days? So, it was weird, right? Because back when I was in high school, the whole thing going at that point was emo at the time, right? Emo was, like, taking off. I remember you had a lot of the bands popping up around that time. You had the My Chemical Romance, The Used. What am I thinking? Fall Out Boy, yeah. I remember Fall Out Boy getting like really big towards the end of being in high school. And like I was like kind of making fun of it because I thought like the whole idea was stupid. I don't know, something about Fall Out Boy just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know particularly what it was about them. But I remember I was going around with some friends at the time, and I don't know, I think it was like one of the girls that was driving, and she had like the Fall Out Boy on. I'm like, oh god, like, are you kidding me, this Fall Out Boy? Like, I didn't even know what they sounded like. That was like the first time hearing them. Now the funny thing is, they were kind of like on the more pop end of that spectrum, weren't they? I think in the end they ended up becoming more of like a pop band than anything. You know what's funny is you kind of have like other bands playing at the time, which, you know, at the time weren't really considered emo, but I think they're kind of more like lumped in with all that at this point in like retrospect. Like you had Taking Back Sunday, Newfound Glory. They were kind of like a little bit earlier on. I have heard like nowadays there's emo rap. Yeah, that's what's eventually gonna bring it around on. Is that like now apparently like there's another wave of emo because it was like Beatmas. He was like, oh yeah, I'm emo. I'm like, you're an emo? What the fuck? Like that was when I was in high school. Like, I don't understand how you're an emo now. Like it's so weird to be like, these days you're emo. I don't know. That's just weird to me. I know there's a terrible Machine Gun Kelly song called Emo Girl, and I heard it once, and I'm like, this is the worst damn thing I've ever heard. There was like a video of someone making fun of that song too, and it was pretty well done. And then like the guy ended up making like his version of like an emo song that was better than that. Get out of here, damn bird. I don't even know why I'm fighting them. I shouldn't be bothering. So yeah, I don't know anything about what the modern day emo's like. I just remember kind of what it was at my time. And what's even fun here is so you kind of like bring it back to then. Then I remember there were like people who were arguing that the emo then wasn't real emo because like there was actually emo that was popular in the 90s, right? And that was Sunny Day Real Estate and I don't know, some like other bands like that or whatever. What was the other one? Like Neutral Milk Hotel? Like some weird ass name. I don't remember. I don't know if they're emo or if they were more just like considered indie rock. But I remember there was like this girl who like wore this Neutral Milk Hotel shirt every fucking day in school at the time. That and like Nirvana, I want to say. And what was funny was at like one point, I forget why, like there was this one kid who was kind of like the class clown, right? And I don't know, he's just like doing this like weird kind of rap. It's kind of like a ska slash like reggae style rap. And like at one point the girl started complaining about it. And then he started like freestyling some bit about like, oh, that how this girl's being a bitch because all like the bleach has gone to her head or something like that. Like I can't remember what it was, but I was just like, wow. If I remember correctly, that was in our Spanish class in like 11th grade, I want to say. Because what had happened was like the teacher we had, I forgot what happened to her, but she got like sick or something. So she had to take the rest of the year off. And then we got this replacement teacher who was like super chill. And like we never really had to do anything. Like the class was basically like goofing around the entire time. Like I think she was like pretty much like a fresh teacher too. Like she was pretty young. I don't know. She was probably in her like mid 20s, late 20s at most. Like she was like just out of school. And the whole thing was super laid back. And I guess the logic being that it's Spanish, so it's not like it's a subject that really matters all that much. Because there's no like real state standardized test-based stuff with that you have to worry about. So it's pretty much goofing off half the damn time. And with that kid, like one of the things I'm talking about, he like was messing around with. Like he did like the weirdest shit. Like at one point, like she stepped out to talk to someone. So like the kid quickly like ran and jumped out. Like is on the first story, but like jumped out the window and just hid there. And then like I don't know, like we were all just like waiting, like when she came back to see when like she would notice that he was gone. And it took like a good couple of minutes. And he just like hopped back in. Like, what the hell are you doing, you idiot? Alright, there we go, the famous flippers. Oh, we completed yet another heart. Yeah, that class was a lot of fun. No, I talk about this and I always mention like, oh yeah, I took Spanish, but I don't really remember much about it. Well, that's one of the reasons why, I suppose. Like at the end of the year, I think we did have to take some like little test, but it was more of an informal thing. It's like you just had to have like a conversation with someone in Spanish. And that was it. So, it was easy to do. And I don't think she was going to be very harsh either way. With the way she was grading it. What's funny is that, like, because she was like a younger teacher, all the kids liked her too. And I guess by all the kids I mean like the boys in the class. Oh, I didn't mean to throw that. So they were always like trying to ask her what she was doing on the weekend, and she was just like so frustrated with their shit by the end of the year. Yeah, I'm sorry I threw it. I didn't mean to. It's like, no, I'm not telling you my plans for the weekend. You gotta remember also, this is the days before we had social media where like people were trying to like add each other with their teachers or whatever, because I hear that happens nowadays. And that's pretty freaking weird, to be honest. So, like, the students just try to dig teacher out about their teacher from, talk with them in class. I remember we had a math class with, kind of like a younger teacher, too. And for whatever reason, the girls would always ask him questions. I don't know if they liked him or if they were just being freaking weird. But it was always awkward. And, like, he had a fiance. And then, like, one of the weeks when they're asking about, like, how it was, he's like, yeah, my fiance broke up with me. And then, like, the entire class was like, oh. And he's like, yeah. And it was funny, because, like, he was kind of in, like, a bad mood, you could tell, earlier in the day, and he seemed, like, completely frustrated with, like, everything being asked of him up to that point. And then, like, once that came out, I was like, oh, yeah, that's probably why. I don't know why I'm telling stories about high school while I'm playing this game, and this game came out more when I was in, preschool or whatever. Meanwhile, what was I playing when I was in high school? I think the big Zelda game that came out when I was in high school was, God, I can't see where the damn thing is now. There it is. Yeah, the thing that came out when I was in high school was, Wind Waker. That's right. Although that was early on. I think that was, like, kind of middle school / high school. Like, first year of high school, probably. Yeah, that was, like, 2002, 2003. That's what I wanted from here. I meant to get that earlier. That way I can give it over to the, Potion Master? Witch? Whatever she, calls herself. Whatever your occupation is. Oh, there's a heart here, isn't there? I think so. Yeah, there we go. As people kind of, remember with Wind Waker, at the time, yeah, there was a lot of people that were unhappy with the way they did the graphics in that game, all of a sudden going cel-shaded. I can tell you that because I was one of them. I was all hyped for the super realistic Zelda game, and then you get completely different graphics instead. I played the game all the same, and I enjoyed it. But I was really looking forward to the realistic looking Zelda game with an adult Link facing off against Ganon. I mean, that was the dream at the time. They showed that in the trailers early on. Got everyone hyped for that. And the cool thing about Wind Waker is they at least brought that back, that you had to fight with Ganon. Because for half the game, you don't know if the story's going there or not. And then they sort of, part way through the game, hint at Ganon, and then they confirm, yep, it's Ganon. Or Ganondorf, I guess, I should say. Some people make the distinction, some don't. I don't really care all that much. Hello again, kids. I say kids, and that guy's older than me, whatever. You know, going back to the whole, oh, get out of here. Going back to the goth thing, because that was brought up too, before the whole emo thing. There were a couple of kids that were, like, more on the goth side rather than emo. And I kind of remember that in school. And I kind of remember those kids, like, I don't know. I found them in a way more intimidating than anything, I guess. Like, I don't know. I didn't really spend much time with them. I will say that there were some of the goth girls back at the time who had like a cool style about them. Oh, is there something here? I'm trying to remember. But I wasn't really into that whole thing myself. Oh, I'll get like that little half a heart piece healed, I guess. Why not? I don't know. I will be quite honest. I didn't really feel a special kind of affinity with like any one group, I would say, for the most part. Get out of here. Like, I don't know, the kind of stereotypes to break down high school into like what, the 4 different groups. The you can freeze these guys with the rod, by the way. As well. Just gonna keep the boomerang for now, though. So I don't mess anything up later. You do need magic for some things, but not at this point yet. But there's like the preps, right? The rich kids, the jocks, the nerds, and I guess goths, right? That's kind of like the stereotype. Going back to Breakfast Club or whatever. Probably other things as well. Let's get like the famous movie. A John Hughes production. Yeah, you can't really run with the old man. It's funny, because he actually goes somewhat fast on his own, but then when you run, he's like even slower, it seems. Right? Like, that's slower than he was before. Maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, so like I said, now the mirror should work both ways. Which maybe we'll test out in a second here. I wonder what happens if you use it inside. They won't let you, right? Nope, okay. I was just curious about that. But yeah, normally you wouldn't be able to use it here. Oh no, we're a bunny now and we're stuck on Death Mountain. Yeah, I wonder if you could get stuck somewhere now. Unintentionally glitch out the game. Well, I guess you could travel back anywhere, so you can't really get stuck. The goth and the stoner. Oh, I guess stoners could be their own group, right? You know what was funny? In high school, there was like a pretty decent group of, like people kind of into reggae. I don't know why. Oh, not reggae. What am I talking? I guess maybe there's some crossover, like ska and reggae. I don't know if I kind of confused the two or if there's some kind of crossover with that. Anyway, yeah, there's big ska fan base back in when I was in school. I think there was kind of like a band that was into that whole scene among some of the kids in my high school. I guess it kind of had its time in the limelight around, you know, that late 90s, early 2000s period. And we could just grab the key like that without having to mess around with these. I don't know what the hell they're supposed to be. Basically switches. I don't know what they're supposed to be. It's sometimes hard with older games to get exactly what they're trying to represent. It's almost like a ruby or something, because it shines. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a ruby, because it changes from blue to crystal, I guess? I don't know. You can tell you crystal. It's got LEDs in it. Destroy all. Destroy all. So I will admit to you all that a lot of this game does bring me back kind of to, not high school, because again, I don't know why I got into the stories. I guess we kind of went down that route on our own. But this game does bring back a lot of memories of kind of just like playing this game at my cousin's house. I'm spending a lot of time there. Because I ended up being at their house a lot. At my aunt's house. Because after school, my parents were kind of still working. And I'd be at my aunt's house, I'd mess around with their systems, play games. Oh, hey, Value Inputs, how are things going so far? We're getting a bit nostalgic and telling stories and stuff like that, so welcome. Feel free to share any if you feel like, or ask us about any if you want to. Oh, I have to, actually, I could also just use the mirror and go back. Like that. I remember a lot of times, because it was around dinner time, like, I'm sure she probably made other things, but the thing that I remember her making the most was spaghetti sauce. And she would let me sample the sauce to make sure it was up to standards. So I kind of remember, like, sitting up on the kitchen countertop and, you know, had a little wooden spoon to take a taste with. And so sometimes when I'm playing this game, I still kind of remember the taste of the pasta sauce. Oh, and another thing I would sometimes get is she would give me like the because she'd always add like a little bit of a brown sugar to the sauce as well to give it a sweeter taste. And so sometimes I have a little bit of the raw brown sugar. I remember that too. Oh yeah, this game has fantastic music. Have you played this game before, Value Inputs, or have you seen it before? Or would this be your first time to it? Because you're in for a treat. It's a very good game. One of my favorites. Oh yeah, brown sugar. You know, it's funny, because now I don't really have those kinds of sauces too often. Pasta sauce, because I don't really have pasta very often. Part of the reason is, Emily is also someone who, I don't know why I said also, but she's someone who had, like, a bit of Italian heritage. So her family would have the pasta very often in her family. And she kind of got sick of it as she's older. So she doesn't really enjoy having that. And for me personally, I don't know. I don't really eat a lot of like breads or bread-based things most of the time. I tend to like having steaks, chicken, like other meat, fish I'll have. So, like, I don't know. I guess if you're having it with, like, meatballs, that's alright. Because then you're getting your protein in that way, too, right? I suppose so. Ah, you have seen it previously? May have played it on Game Boy? Yeah, they had this available on the Game Boy Advance at one point. It came out probably in the mid-2000s, so maybe you played it then. If you had a Game Boy Advance. Let's try to see if we can kind of, like, run and kill him. That'd be funny. Oh god, let's press this. Let's get away from him a little bit. Oh, as long as you have your sword out, he can't really knock you off, but if you lose your sword, then he can kind of knock you all off the platform, just like that. So try to avoid that. I have to make the text bigger in the chat, because now that I have to read stuff, And it's all clumped together, it's hard to read. Wait, did we just hit him in the face and took damage? That's not supposed to happen. That's what it looked like, too. Oh, fuck. If he hits you from behind, he could also knock you off. By the way. Here, let me, I guess it's probably supposed to be Undertale, right? Makes me feel weird because when my brother died, I was watching Undertale playthrough, so whenever I watch Undertale, I think of that. Yeah, I mean, it's sad to have sad and bad memories tied to games like that. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to play something that reminds me of something like that. The skull thing on the floor, I swear it looks like the logo for the Shadowrun on Super Nintendo. I don't know if I played Shadowrun on Super Nintendo. What is that? It's funny because I thought I heard the name Shadowrun before, but I thought it was more of a modern game. I guess it's an older game. I just never realized it. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this. There we go. Yeah, I need to fix up my chat for my viewing habits because it's gonna bug out my eyes trying to read this. I don't know why I had it so small. Oh yeah, we got it now. That was just, for whatever reason, a little bit more difficult than usual. How do I make this bigger? Stupid chat. Hold on here a second. Zoom in. There we go. Yep, that's better. Okay, let's get back to it now. So the funny thing is our mouse is on here. Let's get that off. Glad I noticed that. Oh, and I think there is a heart somewhere on here. Probably not there. I didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that at all. I think it's actually the one where you jump off over here. I want to say. Actually, I don't think it is. Yeah, because I remember coming out through here. You exit through this area, so it must be the one on the right then. Or maybe it's neither. It could be neither, actually. Death Mountain is a bit of a complexity. To be perfectly honest, I don't remember where a lot of the items are in this anymore. That's one of the things that's due to the experience with the randomizer, I will admit. Okay, that's the hard piece, huh? I remembered that much at least. Did we use up any of our fairies? Hey, there we go. I'm just gonna collect you for good measure. Oh. Alright, now we can get out of here. You know, the funny thing is, so at this point in the game, we could use the mirror to go to the Dark World. And wouldn't that really sequence break the game? Because technically, you would go get the message story first. And you can't go to the Dark World until you actually do the castle where you go fight Aghanim. But with the way you have the game set up, we could travel at any point in time. Like, we could go right here to the Dark World, and there's a heart piece right here. Just out of curiosity, what happens if we do this? Oh, we could totally just do that. Now, does that break anything else, I wonder? So these guys are still doing their lumberjacking, as if we've never been to the Dark World. Because normally what happens is you defeat Aghanim, you get into the Dark World, then these guys stop doing this, and the tree is cut. So I was just kind of curious what the logic would be if we went to the Dark World, if that would somehow break the game, but it hasn't. I guess I probably should have saved the game before doing that, just in case I did something bad. Yeah, we take risks sometimes. Yeah. Also bumping into absolutely everything right now. The animals. And now we become the hero of legend. Yes. Suddenly, sa-ha-ha-ha, Sarah. Contacts you telepathically. Telepathically. Yeah. Okay, he's a talker. We know. Oh, you know what? Let me put a question to you guys in the chat. How about this? So how many of you guys have played A Link to the... not A Link to the Past, but how many of you have actually played A Link's Awakening? Either for the Game Boy, or the remake they released for whatever it was. The Switch, I think. I'm curious if anyone's played that. Oh, really? Value inputs decided to work shift tonight? So this is a really chill way to watch and relax to? Okay. Hold on. I know I've read that terribly, but please forgive me. I'm trying to get here as quickly as possible. See the value of our friend. Oh, you failed. You're a second too late. I failed. Zelda, the soldiers have abducted her. They have taken her to the castle. You must find her before the wizard works his magic. Please, you are our only hope. Okay. And he phased out of existence. Yeah, I had a work shift tonight, so this is a really chill thing to watch and I want to. Okay. Oh, you haven't! You haven't. Ah. See. I wasn't the only one getting chipped up, so were you, Value. I don't feel alone now. I don't feel so bad. So we can just come over and go straight to the castle, I guess. We can also teleport again to the Dark World and further break down the game. If we really wanted to. But I'm just gonna stick to the main storyline of the game and try to follow that as closely as possible for now. Oh wow, you know what's funny? Probably because we traveled to the Dark World, that thing disappeared. Isn't that weird? I wonder if that means we can also travel to the Dark World by going into the gate. Wait, did we go to the gate to get here? I think we did, right? There's no other way in the castle, is there? Yeah, you had to. Okay. So they didn't have that program to... Wait, now it's back. Well, I don't even know what to say anymore. Jason says never feel alone. Try. Apes are stronger together. Or together strong. Yes, that too. But I don't want to be an ape. You know who really eats apes? That's Emily. She doesn't like anything monkey related. It's like she has a fear of them. I don't know if it's fear or disgust. Get out of here. I think she's probably mentioned that in several of the games we've done in the past. Because monkeys are kind of like a reoccurring thing in game. Is that an enemy? Why is it off to the side? Weird. I should probably unequip this before I accidentally travel back to the beginning of the dungeon. Oh! Well, we killed the enemy that's off to the side? Cool. Actually, I wonder if that's a side effect of the widescreen of the game. The enemies sometimes end up where they're not supposed to be. It's hard to tell because it's dark in here. Like, we need light to see around us. I think I can... Oh my god, he hit! Oh, you freaking scumbag. Dirtbag. Rat bastard. Now I don't have my magic. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, I chuckle, but I'm angry. I laugh with rage. Okay, I guess you should try to stay focused in this, huh? Oh yeah, by the way, Jason, so did you end up ever watching, you know, now I forget what it was that we were talking about the other day. But I remember we were talking about something, we were gonna do like a watch party of it. Did that ever happen? And I guess remind me of what it was. 'Cause I already forgot what the hell it was we were talking about. It's kind of typical. Hard to see in here. I think that's the third one. No? Whatever. Maybe I accidentally killed it. Oh, that's right. It was the interview. I don't know. Get it. Yeah, the North Korea one. I remember that now. I remember we were talking about that. See, I just forget things, and I usually just need like a prompt to remember what it was. I usually don't. I can, but usually don't just completely forget altogether. Whatever it is. Yeah, that's not useful for anything in particular. A lot of assholes in here. Oh, assholes on both sides. Trying to shoot me. You're trying to stab me. God. There we go. If you retain all your magic, you have a better chance of not getting hit because you can hit them from far away, as I'm doing this whole time. I don't know if your shield deflects the lances they throw. I guess your energy units do though. I think the upgraded shield probably does. There's also a way to talk to Sahasrara there, but oh god, you can't deflect that. If they stab you, you take damage. I have no idea what Sahasrara says here. I don't think it's anything important either way. He's like, oh, Link, yeah, you're almost there. Keep going. Yeah, well, I would keep going if you didn't interrupt me to talk to me. By the way, how does Sahasrara know where to put all these things anyway? I mean, how did he get access to the castle? Put in his little, speaker box thing. It is confusing, too, because, right, he's saying he's talking to you telepathically, but you have to access it through whatever the hell those things are. Oh, wow, this guy's right next to me. I think with the widescreen, it's loading in the cells before you get rid of them, so the enemies are already triggered before you even step foot into the room. Huh, the room. There we go. Talk about silly movies. How many of you guys have seen The Room? I don't remember who I was talking to about that, but that didn't come up relatively recently. It actually might have been in someone's video I watched. It's kind of funny because it's kind of an old thing now. Well, of course, I've now lost my magic. The beam, anyway. No, Zelda. What will you do to her? Alakazam. Ho ho ho, later, bitch. Have I heard the theory that all the Zelda is post-apocalyptic, and that's why things like bottles are valued treasure? No, I haven't heard that much about it. At least not that particular theory. Does that mean anything with bottles has to be post-apocalyptic because bottles are a treasure? I guess it is funny though how bottles are so revered in Zelda games. Come on, what's going on? Hit the damn beam. I like how it worked every time except the time when I needed to. Kind of lagged there. Now it's not lagging. Okay, cool. And yeah, I could actually coordinate this, but I like doing this. It's funny the way he's wildly swinging. Try to do as close as possible to him. If you actually hit him, you take damage, by the way. Oh, so he's gonna hit us here. Well, not hit us, but he's gonna try to hit us. A lot of times when he's in the top, he'll do the lightning. If he's facing you, he's gonna do the, well, one of the 2 attacks that he does when he actually tries to aim you. Either the orb you can reflect back at him, or the blue balls that don't do anything good for you. I like the pattern right there. Look at that. Actually, this is kind of the funny thing about having your mouse active like this. This looks kind of funny. I don't know why I like that so much. Just the way it's frozen there. Oh yeah, that's an old, that's a really old thing. I remember people talking about that a long time ago too. Using the bug net instead to reflect things back at him. And then in other games, you could use the bottles to reflect things back at him. I think that may have been Ocarina of Time. Because they got rid of the bug catching net. Because, hey, bug catching nets aren't cool anymore. Just catch it directly in the bottle. You know, if you're cheap, you're poor, and you can't afford a cool bug catching net, just use the damn bottle itself, right? That's the logic. Oh god, this guy can talk a bunch. Yeah, basically there's 7 maidens you have to rescue, including Zelda. And that's what we have to do for the rest of the game now. Thank you. Okay. Please make this old man's wishes come true. I beg you. Do it for the old man, if nothing else. Yeah. There we go. Alright, so now we're in the Dark World. And I'm gonna get myself a drink because my throat kind of requires it at this point. So I'll be back in a moment. Meanwhile, enjoy the fancy break screen. Oh, we can also play the music. Okay, you know what? Hold on, before I do that. You know, the break's gonna be very short too. It's just funny I have to go through all this. There we go. Behold music. Much nicer now, having something to drink here. It's what makes all the difference. So we're gonna continue on. Just a second here. I'm gonna get myself comfortable. I do like this music a lot. This is from a game called Brave Fencer Musashi. Some of you may have seen this in when the thing pops up telling you what song it is. And I don't know if you guys ever played this game, but I would highly recommend it. The only problem is, like, if you're not emulating things and downloading it, I don't think you can get this game quite easily. It's a PlayStation game, the original PlayStation. And I don't believe it's ever been available for download on anything since it originally came out. Does it sound like a super popular game? I guess it's kind of in the same boat as Orphan. Although I think the game was, I don't know, I want to say somewhat received better. I don't actually know though. Surprisingly, I didn't really care much about game sales and how popular they were back when I was 10 years old or whatever. Should we get the game going though? I guess so, right? The song's done. Okay. So I'm gonna do this for a little bit longer. Like I said, I was kind of aiming for about an hour. No, not an hour. What am I saying here? I was aiming for doing about 2 hours, and well, I mean, we might go a little bit over, so I'll just give it a heads up now. I'll do maybe about another hour from here. 45 minutes to an hour. How about that? Okay, so let's jump back into things here with some more Zelda. Yeah, I got my mouse on the screen again. Let's get that off. So I think what I'm gonna do, first of all, is try to see all the different things we could do now that we can kind of sequence break the game with the fact that the mirror will take us back and forth, when normally it wouldn't. So the first thing I could think to do is one, we're pretty much gonna go immediately back to the light world, which, I mean, that we could have done at any time at this point in the game. Oh, look, I could absolutely demolish these guys by going super speedy back and forth and hitting them repeatedly. Cool. Right, so back to the light world. Oh, and another thing I was kind of thinking of when I was reading over the last message that Jason sent before about the whole, oh, do you know the bug catching net could be used here to reflect the beams of Ganon, or Aghanim? Oh yeah, definitely not Ganon. So like that's one of the things I remember people talking about back in the day that you could do. And it also reminded me of the other things that people used to gossip about. Like they would say, oh yeah, like if you did this certain thing in Ocarina of Time, you go to secret areas of the game, and that's how you get the Triforce. Like that was a huge rumor mill at the time, was that there were all these secret things you could do to collect secret sage medallions, and eventually you would unlock well, you'd basically unlock certain things that would allow you to get to certain areas of the game, and that would get you the Triforce. Like there's this whole thing about you could unfreeze Zora's shrine, and that would take you to the unicorn fountain, right? Something like that. So yeah, we wouldn't normally be able to do that, now we can do this. And if you went to the unicorn fountain, you would get the medallion, and that would do something else. It's this whole complex series of events. And everyone would like try to get each other to do these most ridiculous things, so it supposedly get you the Triforce. Of course, none of that was actually in the game. And what's funny nowadays is people do what's called data mining, right? Where they use certain programs to dig into the game's files and figure out every secret that's in the game, and whatever could possibly be hidden in there, even unused content that's on the disc or whatever, or in the game's files, but not actually accessible from the game. Maybe I should take this a little bit seriously. This is supposed to be a sad part of the game. Thank you, Link, but it looks like I can't play my flute anymore. Please take it. If by chance you go to the village I lived in, please give it to a tired old man you will find there. Well, my mind is getting hazy. Please let me hear the sound of the flute one last time. Just felt like we should be respectful there for the guy's last moments before he turned into a tree forever. Or at least until the end of the game. Anyway. What was I saying now? I already forget. Oh yeah, so essentially, yeah, there's a whole rumor mill about how you could supposedly get the Triforce, and then, of course now, with any game, people can kind of find out information about what's in the game right away. Because there will be people who will dissect the game, essentially, and figure out what's actually in the game, what's not. They can find secrets about the game, unused content, all that sort of thing. Which is cool in a way, but it does take out some of the, I got hit by that, it's funny. Some of the mystique, some of the mystery in games, in a way. You know, you sort of never would have that situation again. And maybe there's something lost there. I don't know. Personally, it probably wouldn't really matter to me, because, I mean, I don't get obsessed about games like I did back then. I enjoy games. I'll play them a lot, but I usually don't put that much effort into figure out all its secrets and that sort of thing. I'm not a major game completionist where I have to spend every single hour there is in the game to make sure I got everything. But I remember that being a big deal back in the day. The idea that you could get the Triforce and save the Zoras. I don't know. I guess people thought it was cool. I don't think I was as concerned about saving the Zoras, but I think getting the Triforce would have been cool. Alright. You have to unlock, or dig a bunch of those to actually get the heart piece here. Jason says he has a friend that would used to lie about things in video games. Things he would do and would get defensive if called out on it. That's so weird. Yeah, I don't know. I remember, like, there was a while we were kind of competitive. Me and some of the other kids at school that were into video games. About trying to beat, like, the game first. And I think that was the case when Ocarina of Time first came out. And I want to say I've told the story before. But I'll tell it again, because, you know, I don't remember who was on what stream and when I told the story and all that stuff. And we were kind of like racing each other to see who would beat the game first. This was like in 4th grade or 5th grade, whenever. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I missed on Rube. Oh my god, there's a guy right now. Okay. Wow. Really freaked out there. Oh, what was I going on about? There we go, drawing out and not know what I'm saying. Oh yeah. So we were trying to get through Ocarina of Time as quickly as possible. I should unequip this, by the way. There we go. And I think I was doing among the best, I want to say. Like, getting the furthest in. I guess I had a lot of time on my hands. Like, what a compliment that is looking back on it. Yeah, like, I had nothing else I was doing playing the game more than anyone else. Got the furthest in it. And eventually, I got to the part with the Redeads. And those things freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. As a kid, I didn't really like them. They creeped me the hell out. So, like, when you first encounter them in the, Clock Town after you become an adult, I'm like, oh my god, I'm running the hell out of here, never coming back here again. And then later on in the game, you go to the well in Kakariko Town, right? And then there's a bunch of them there again. I'm like, oh my god, I hate these things. Why are there more of these? And so I found like a way to skip out on doing the, was it the well? Or I think it was actually, no, I had to do the well because I didn't know they were going to be there. And then like the next dungeon you're going to is the Spirit Temple. And I'm like, oh, that's got a bunch of creepy things in it. So essentially I found out you could get like the item, oh there we go, nice. You get the item from the Spirit Temple, the hover boots or whatever. And then you could actually skip that temple and then do the, actually I think it was called the Shadow Temple, right? It was the Shadow Temple. The Spirit Temple is the one in the desert, I think, yeah. Try to correct the record there. So, basically what I did was, I did part of the temple, then I left, and I did the desert temple instead. Because I really didn't want to meet those 3 dead things again. And eventually I did have to go back and do it anyway. Because you have to do it to beat the game. Okay, I can do this, I think. I was curious to see if we could actually get the upgrade to the sword. I think we might be able to. Yeah, let's talk to the froggy. Normally, we wouldn't be able to do it this way for the multitude of reasons. But now we can actually do this. Okay, that's funny. Actually, I have to admit something. I already did this. I was kind of being silly, acting like I didn't know you could do this. I actually tested this out with the other file. Sometimes I act a little bit dumber than I actually am, just for the sake of playing up on video. Of course, don't tell anyone my secret, especially in like games like Danganronpa, where I'm trying to act surprised. Actually, what's funny is I don't think I did it so much in Danganronpa because I was actually actively trying to figure out what was going on in that game. And what's funny is some people actually kind of are annoyed about the fact that I figured out things as early as I did. So maybe I should just act stupid like I sometimes do. People probably would like that better. Ah, well. Oh my god. Okay, let's see. So we got the sword upgrade early. What else can I do here, I wonder? Just trying to figure out what other things we could do breaking the game. Now we have this capability. Oh, we could do the temples out of order completely. Oh, that's right. Now you have the ghosts that visit the graveyard. I wonder if we can get into here now. Let's see. Oh, I think I can. If I go around this way. Oh, Aaron? Oh, do you mean like when Aaron played Danganronpa? Yeah, I mean, I guess the way they played it, they didn't really know what they were doing either. And I guess people didn't really like that aspect. I mean, it's kind of like Danganronpa fans just complain in general, but you wouldn't catch me saying something like that, now would you? Of course not. There we go, we can open that now. Oh. I think we might be able to get up there too. Get out of here. Alright. Oh, money, money. Give me money. Even though I don't really need money anymore. Oh. You know I still want it. Either way. Oh, hold on, I'll read the full comment. No. I know I don't need the money, but somehow it still hurts me. Doesn't make any sense. Jason was clarifying that when Aaron plays Zelda, he acts like he doesn't know things. He would have to. He would have had to know to make a sequelitis video about it. Ah, I see. I can kind of get a sense for that. I mean, I don't know why, but sometimes it's more fun kind of playing the game like you don't know it. I think part of it is it's kind of like trying to be almost sympathetic with the audience. Like you don't want to you're kind of expecting your audience not to know the game either, and then playing the game like you're all new to it as well. I don't even know if that makes any sense, because like I kind of said before, is anyone really playing this game or watching this game that wouldn't have already played it or seen it at some point in the past? It's like, yeah, we've all been here. We've all seen it before. In a way, maybe it's trying to like get back our first way of playing the game when it was fresh and new. I think that's part of the reason why the randomizers are so popular. It's like bringing the game into its virginal state. As funny as this language sounds. That's something new and fresh, something you haven't seen before. Anyway, I'm trying to think on the fly here what we could... Oh, you know what? We could probably get whatever was in here now. I actually don't think it's very much in here. It might just be fairies. In fact, I'm 99% certain that's what it is. Yep. Oh, never mind. Well, see? 1% was there. And we got it. Well, I didn't say 100%. Imagine how dumb I'd look then. Oh, you know what I didn't do, but I could do now? I could go tell the old man his son died. Isn't that great news? Well, the good part about it is that I get the bird. Ain't I a stinker? Tragedy has happened, and all I can think about is how this will benefit me. So if you were to talk to him before... Oh, or if you talk to him... Oh. Well, I thought someone kind of tells you about his backstory, but maybe you actually had to do it before we went to the Dark World? Or maybe I'm just completely misremembering this. Oh, this is my son's food. Did you meet my son? Where is he? Is he alright? Oh, I see. Well, I can tell what you want to say by the look in your eyes. Oh, trying to kill the old man. Would you keep the flute? And will you play its sweet melody for the bird in the village square? I beg of you, please. My son would probably want it this way. But still, I wish I could see him once more. Is this game considered pseudo 3D? I don't think I've really heard anyone say that, to be honest. It does use mode 7, and we're about to see that in a second. Which is sometimes associated with 3D, but not necessarily all the time. I wouldn't say the mode 7 is used to 3D, personally. So if you use the bird, this brings up the map, which is in mode 7. And you could kind of call that 3D in some games, although this doesn't really look that 3D-ish. Anyway, there are a couple of other games for the Super Nintendo that use mode 7 that you could kind of say are like pseudo 3D, I suppose would be the word that you used, and I guess applies. Star Fox comes to mind. There's probably more, but I just can't think of it right now. Technically, I think Doom was released for the Super Nintendo, like a port of it, and that would be pseudo 3D as well. Doom is what they call 2.5D. There's some reason why, and I forget why. It has something to do with the way the engine handles the Z level, or the height level of the game, or whatever. Are you gonna look that up? Oh, the Link Between Worlds? Yeah. Well, I should clarify. The Link Between Worlds, which is the sequel, I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying Jason's wrong. Because it is a sequel, but it's a sequel that was released like 20 years later, or something to that effect. So it's like a far apart sequel from this game. But Jason is right about it being a sequel. I just wanted to clarify the length of time that was like separated between the two games. Not even clarify. What's the word? Emphasize? Hey, more hearts. Try to think of what else we could possibly do early in this game. Wait, I wonder if you get the bird in this. Let's see. That would have been interesting if they had the bird actually work in the Dark World. Get out of here, pterodactyl. Alright, well that's enough of this place. Oh no! Let's spawn on a cactus. So we could go ahead and... Well, actually no, we couldn't even go in that dungeon, because I think you have to use the... Well, one of the medallions, I forget which name it is, to open up, and we can't do that yet. We can get one of the medallions here, though. And that's what we're gonna do. Get out of here. Stupid rocks tumbling down. Oh, you... Bastards. Rat bastards. I don't know what those things are supposed to be. Alright, there's actually a secret here. Not that it's super important or really does all that much for you. But if you go around this way, come out this way, navigate through the darkness here, combine them, and exit through here, you get all the way out there, which kind of skips some of that. It can help you avoid getting hit by the rocks if you do that. Though you do have to probably take longer getting in and out through there because you have to go through the caves and there's a little bit of loading. You know what's funny? We never talked to these guys. You don't have to, like, thankfully. And I'm not going to now. All they're like is, oh, woe is me, we've been turned to these weird demented creatures that are not quite human. Not quite man or mer. Or whatever they're supposed to be. They're elves? I guess they're elves. So mer. I know. We had a hardcore Zelda fan, they'd be like, they're not men or elves, they're Hylians. They are neither. I don't know what they technically want to consider them. Actually, I'm trying to think, do they have pointy ears? I mean, Link looks like he has pointy ears there. But I can't remember if that's the case in every game. So I'm trying to process here. I think there is an item here, but, oh, you know what's funny? So we're actually already at the end of the game, because that's where you go to do the final section, mostly. But you can't access it until you get the seven diamonds, 7 sages, 7 descendants, whatever the hell they call them in this one. So, yeah. Can't do anything with that just yet. I just thought I'd mention it. Take me away. Oh no, come back! That's funny. Whoa! Alright, so let's get serious now. Where do I go next? I could just go to the dungeon and do that, but I'm trying to figure out what items I could get as quickly as possible in the Dark World I normally wouldn't be able to. Oh, you know what? Well, if I go here... and then go up this way, I could get another one of these medallions. Because there's a giant catfish that we can awaken if we just throw an item in the correct spot in the lake. Like in real life. I think one of the funnier things to do is, I think the sign says something about it. So you can pick up the sign and throw the sign at him. Was it you disturb my peaceful nap? I'll give you this if you just go away! Thank you. How kind of you, sir. See ya. Yeah, what did it say? Curses to anyone who throws something to my circle of stones. Curses, indeed. Yeah, it's funny. He curses you, but he gives you an item. There's actually someone else in the game that does that too, funny enough. I don't know why. Did Miyamoto, whoever wrote this game, have some kind of compulsion of throwing things into places they didn't belong. And then because they had such high upstanding values, they would always have to tell the truth and be like, yeah, that was me. I threw it in there. And like, well, I should be angry, but I'm not. Here, take this item instead. Maybe that was something that happened to them when they were younger in life. Well, I've been thinking, and I'm drawing up a blank here, so I guess we just go ahead and do the first dungeon now. Right? We might be able to just, like, skip it entirely and do the second dungeon instead, or maybe even do the third dungeon. But why not just start with the first? Shouldn't be that much effort. Oh yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I could have gotten another bottle. Actually, I could have probably gotten 2 bottles. Oh well. Oh, no, you have to go down and then around. That's right. How am I forgetting this? Oh, it's Kiki. Kiki the monkey loves rupees. Can we give money to Kiki? Yeah, Kiki. Take your rupees, damn it. Greedy bastard. Also, if you get hit by an enemy, Kiki runs the hell out of there. Kiki's got no loyalty. Kiki ain't loyal to them hoes. Alright, Kiki, open up the damn door. Actually, I guess Kiki would be the hoe in this situation. We're the ones paying Kiki. Ah, money. Yes. And we have the upgraded sword for this, which, I'll be curious to see how this does in combat versus the enemies we'd normally be much weaker against at this point. There we go. And we don't even need to use a bomb. When they're big like that, the cracks I mean that could be taken a number of ways, but essentially these ones, you can just run into them and break them down. The smaller ones that look like this, you have to bomb. But this actually isn't a real one. This is a fake one. They do have fake ones too. You can tell by the sound. There'll also be cracks like this you can bomb, but I'm 90% sure that's a fake one too. Why do they do that? I don't know. They want to be sneaky. That's right, these assholes try to shoot you. So you actually have to kind of do it. You don't want to be hit anyway. And if I didn't get hit, I would be able to use my sword beams and kill this guy. But now I can't. Go me. Hey, we got another map. It's the map, it's the map, it's the map. And no, that song wasn't around when I was a kid playing this game. I think I just heard someone else say that at one point, and I'm like, okay, sure, I guess I'll do that. Why not? Never watched that damn show other than seeing stupid references to it, little clips. Actually, didn't they make like a live action version of that at one point? I don't even know when that was now. I feel dirty even mentioning it now. I feel bad. I apologize to everyone. I shouldn't have brought that into this. I was weak. I gave in to something that made me mention that. Ah, you. Oh, that's right. I didn't get it yet. That's what we get inside this temple. Dungeon. Thingy. Place. We just warp out here, because why go through that hell? One more time. Oh, yeah, this needs to be hit first. Away. Sometimes you get 8 bombs. Why they ever drop 8 bombs is kind of weird. Because you would think Alright, so enemies drop bombs, right? And they can either drop them in 1 or 8. And it's like, why are those the numbers they went with? Like, I don't know, maybe 1 bomb and 3 bombs? 2 bombs, 3 bombs, 5 bombs? 8 bombs? I mean, if it's gonna be such a high amount, why not have it 10? At that point. No, I don't know. It's what they went with. It almost feels like a glitch. Though, I don't know why that'd be the glitch. Because I don't know why drop 8 bombs. Why am I so concerned about being 8 bombs? I don't know either. It just gnaws at the mind. I can't help it. So we can drop down here. And this will allow us to do something. I kind of forget what exactly, but I know it'll take us somewhere. To a door. How many doors do we have here? More than you can count. I think there are some dungeons where you get more keys than you really need to use. This might be one of them. Now there should be a door for each key. Or a key for each door, I guess? Both? One or the other? But you don't always have to use them all. In fact, a lot of times it's easier if you don't. So there's one door in particular here that if you don't use the key for, you just skip getting another key later. Okay. I don't know why I came down here a second time. I should have known that's where that leads. I have to go through this again. So I was just... stupidity on my part. Does it matter which door we go to at this point? I don't actually remember. Ah, well, we get a chest here, so it's a good thing I came out that way. Going to the right is where we were the other time, except it's a little bit different because it's a different area of the room. Eventually, we will go there. We got more of this over here to deal with. Thankfully, we can come crashing through that. Normally, just ricochet off. This is where we have to go to get the item. We already have the big key, so we may as well do this now. Oh, dinosaurs are here. Well, some fire-breathing lizard. And I'm gonna... Asshole. Can't believe it hit me at the last second. Gotta be kidding me. So, I don't know what these things are called. Again, it's Zelda. I said this in my other Let's Plays of Zelda. Or races, or whatever you want to call them. They all have their own names, like Mario as well. The enemies are special. I don't know what they're called. They have names. You may know them, but I don't. Nah. Well, you don't need arrows anyway. What am I doing? That's how it is. You see something you want. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, I guess it does matter. I mean, if you see shit, do you want shit? There's probably someone out there. Someone for everything. But that isn't usually what comes to mind. So I think this is the door where we... Oh, you... It's funny, because I try to avoid cursing too much. But according to YouTube, if you don't do it within the first, like, 50 seconds... I was going to say 15, but I, like, lost track of what I wanted to say. So it might actually be 30. Well, let's just say the first minute. Then YouTube doesn't like that, but if it's after the first minute, they don't care. They don't give a damn. Supposedly, anyway. Then again, you know, YouTube changes its mind all the damn time, so maybe eventually they will have a problem with it. And they'll be like, we're gonna demonetize you. We're gonna censor you. You're going on the naughty list. Alright, so now that we did all that, now we can go back to the beginning. Go to that area where... Oh, actually... there's actually 2 ways we can do this. That's right. I'm actually gonna just go this way because it's easier. So we want to use the store on the right, but I have to change the color first, and to do that, I have to mess around with these tricks. Well, I might be able to go around them. Let's see if they're quick enough to catch me. Oh, you... I finally got my heart back, and that's what happens. Ah, well. So yeah, we also could have dropped down from up there, and that with the hammer. The hammer would take care of those. But I messed it up. Well, I didn't mess it up, but I didn't want to go that way. That's really all there was to it. Oh, we got more of these guys. So you can also just shoot them, rather than hitting them with the sword if you want to. There we go. See, they're no problem. You just gotta know what to do with them. Just gotta remember, keep it in mind. Fuck you, buddy. Now, I almost get the feeling you want to change that back, but I can't remember if that's the case or not. I'm gonna leave it as is for now. Once this finishes doing its thing, there should be stairs to go down. If you're wondering what's going on here. You're locked in place when it does this though, because hey, you don't want to be running around while the ground's shaking, do you? That's not safe. Nintendo can be sued for that. Okay, I guess it didn't matter. This thing knocks these guys around, and now I can kill them in a single hit. I think if I had the regular Master Sword, they would take 2 hits to knock down. And, well, not knock down, but 2 hits to kill once they're knocked down. Hey, now we have extra keys. I think it was the last one too, so really didn't matter if I saved this one or not. Boom. Yeah, this makes it a lot easier, by the way. Because I'm certain these would normally take 2 to kill. Now they die super easily. Super is one of those official terms that if someone's using it, you know they must be an expert in what they're talking about. Like, this sword is super... Well, you know what? Actually, that would work. I was gonna say it's super effective. That actually... I mean, I don't know if that's professional, but that's at least from Pokemon. Pokemon's a professional enough for me, right? But I mean, normally someone's like, oh yeah, this thing is super cool. It's super hot. This is super hard. Or super easy. Wow, we did that. Dare I say super quick? Now I'm struggling. That's what I get for being an idiot. Being annoying. And little may you know, although I should probably assume you guys know more than I'm letting on, we have saved our first maiden. Yeah, the maidens reside inside the crystals. Or diamonds. Now, maybe you could say this is pseudo 3D, right? We were talking about this before with value inputs. The way the that sprite is rendered. Link, because of you, I can escape from the clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you. This world used to be the Golden Land when the Triforce was hidden. But because of Ganon, the boss of thieves, wished it, the world was transformed. And Cherry's intending to conquer even our light world after building his power here. He's trying to open a larger gate between worlds near the castle using our powers. But the gate is not completely open yet. If we 7 maidens come together, we can break the barrier around Ganon's hiding place with the power of friendship. I'll tell you where the other girls are held. I believe we'll destroy Ganon. I'll return to my original form at the time. Great. Do I understand? Not at all. Well, if you could just respond, no comprende. No speaky English. No. That'd be awkward. Link's the hero, but he has absolutely no idea what anyone else in this game is saying the entire time. He's actually not doing it to save the world, he's saying it because he likes killing things. Saving the world is just a side effect. Alright, so... now we have the hammer, what else is opened up to us? A lot of things. I think the hook shot is still something you kind of need for doing most of the temples. So you usually want to do that second, even though with the way you have the game set up, we can pretty much go anywhere we want at this point. But I suppose maybe we'll stick around and, actually, I should get the second bottle now. Oh, the third bottle, technically. We want to use the technical and correct terms for them. Forget if I could just do it here. Yeah, we'll go over here, I suppose. That should take us to it. Yeah, you could have done this a long time ago. As soon as you were able to swim, technically. But I forgot about this entirely. Now, I'm 90% certain here. Yo, Link! You seem to be in the Eva Troll. This is all I can get. There's actually Link's dad sleeping under the bridge. Nah, that's a lie. Be funny, though. Hey, son, this is all I can give you. Hopefully this bottle will save your ass. I'm not going to. So I'm gonna use the bird right now. And the reason for that, oh, don't hit me, don't hit me. Oh, okay. Whew. Yeah, if you come here, actually there's two things we do here because I forgot about this as well. This is where the other mini game should be, to get the piece of heart from the chest. Now this is typically random. Looks like it'll be in this case too. Oh, okay. That was actually pretty quick. What's funny is I think in the randomizer they made it so you actually find it the first time you do it, for whatever reason. And I think the reason for that is if you were to do a race of the randomizer, they want people on the same footing. So you're kind of guaranteed to find it the first time around. Now we can't lift those still, but what I can do is that. Wow. So, oh wait, I can also get this right now. Ah. See, I didn't even know I could get this right now. Oh, there's a thing in the Dark World there too. Actually, I have the hammer, so I could have gotten that either way. If I really wanted to. But I could have gotten this even earlier, I mean. Yeah. Do your thing. Heh, I cursed you. What a curse. So he acts like he's doing something bad, but what he basically did was he made it so that we only use half the amount of magic whenever we're casting a spell. Or using our magic powder. So, quite the curse. Alright, now we come up here. There's gonna be a chest in this room. This bombed out building. Just take it with you, yes, because you don't know how to pock. You don't know how to pick locks, not pock locks. Huh. But there is someone in this world who does, and we're going to find just the man. The man who can pick any lock. Pock any lock. Oh. Yeah, if you run, the chest stays behind. It's one of the side effects of running with a follower in this game. Unless your follower is the old man, because then you actually slow down to keep up with him. I heard that you know that I know that you know that I used to be a thief, right? Well, I'll open the chest for you, but you'll keep the secret from everyone else, right? Of course. Tell it to everyone. And that's how we get the last magic bottle. Okay, being swarmed. Quickly clear out of the way. Remember, you promised, don't tell anyone. Alright. I'm sure we won't mention in the credits of the game to the entire world that you are the, lockpick in the desert or whatever. Okay, so we cleared out this area. This is actually where the second dungeon would be, so we could actually very quickly segue from open world exploring to the dungeon. Though, I forgot something, so we have to go right back. To actually get in the dungeon, you have to, once again, drain the swamp. And we're going to do that right now. And I can also get a fairy here. If I'm not clumsy. I'll let that speak for itself. That may have happened so quick that you didn't even realize it. I know it happened to me. I'm gonna let it stew in that silence for a second. Alright, well, we don't need that many theories anyway. We're good. Got this. You can talk to the little telegram box and Sasrala has stuff to say. Or actually, maybe speak to Zelda at this point. I don't remember. I think you're still speaking to Sasrala. Zelda's technically kidnapped or disposed of right now, I guess. Whatever you want to say. So she can't speak right now, right? I don't think so. Hey, what's up, Lucky Cat? Greggles, what's good with you? Welcome, welcome. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're having a good day. Or night. Whatever time of day it may be for you. I noticed we get people coming in here that are from all sorts of different time zones. But what's made you stop by today? Yeah, it's like, there's a little weird effect on the left side of the screen. Why that is, I don't know. That might just be due to the widescreen of it. Alright, so again, we're gonna flood the area below us. Now, I'm trying to remember thinking, I don't know if I ever did this, but with the randomizer, sometimes you'd get keys or other things to skip ahead in other rooms, right? So I think it's possible to flood certain rooms where there are items before you were supposed to. And I always kind of wondered what would happen if you did that. Would you just be screwed over at that point? I'm not sure. Oh, we can just go around this way. That's right. Now the water's here. That's the whole reason to flip that. I should ask you, Lucky Cat Griggles, are you here? While you're here, have you played this game before? Have you been a fan of A Link to the Past? Or just seen some other people play it as well? I feel like we usually do a better job at this, but oh well. We're not doing too bad. We did die just the once. But it's nice not having to listen to the beeping in this game, so I definitely want to have that turned off. Even if it does put me at a disadvantage because I can't tell when I'm on low health. So this thing shoots fire whenever you swing your sword. Oh, this was the second Zelda game you beat. The first was Ocarina of Time. Very nice games. Though honestly, it is hard to go wrong with Zelda. There are a few of them I like less than others, but it's hard for me to say there's any Zelda game I hate. Or dislike even. Oh boy, let me go back down. Now this thing, okay, good. I thought it was gonna stay there, so I had to get hit either way. So that's cool. You ended up playing Ocarina of Time and then you enjoyed it so much you were like, oh, let's go back and check out the earlier Zelda games. Well, it's funny, for me, I was kind of telling stories about my earlier days playing this game and how when I played it, I was like, I don't know, maybe 4 years old or so. And then afterwards, I also played the Zelda games for the regular Nintendo. I think we might have to have this red. I'm 90% certain we want to have that red for something later on down the line. So I'm going to turn that now. Anyway, so So I did eventually go back and play the other Zelda games that were for the NES. The first Zelda game, just The Legend of Zelda. I also did Zelda 2 on the NES, but I never really liked that one. If I remember correctly, I did a Let's Play of that game, or a stream of it, maybe about 4 or so years ago now. 5 years ago. I forget when it was. But even then, I was like, oh god, yeah, this game. It's a struggle to play at times. If you've never played it, it's one of the most different Zelda games. I guess when I said there's like no bad Zelda games, or no Zelda games I dislike, that's kind of like a, I don't know if I'd say I dislike it, but I mean, I might come awfully close to saying that. There's certainly times when I'm playing getting frustrated that I dislike it, I will say. But overall, do I dislike it? I don't know. It actually might be a yes. Now we have to go one way, not the other. One way, I think, just gets us a heart. Or not a heart, a map. Or it's a rupee. And we didn't get the hook shot yet, so we can't just go across, which we would have been able to do. So we'd have to drop down the other side. Grego says, one time I collected all the dungeon items from the Dark World temples, except for Turtle Rock, and beat the Ice Palace first. Oh yeah, I was kind of mentioning that I almost did something like that with Ocarina of Time. Because I got, well, it was only for one dungeon, not all of them, so I wasn't as dedicated as you were. But what happened was I got the item for the Shadow Temple, and then I skipped it and did the Spirit Temple first, or the Desert one, essentially. The one, the Gerudo Desert. And that was because when I was little like that, I actually wasn't that little. I don't have much of an excuse. I was like 10 maybe, so not like a baby. The whole thing with the dead scared me for the Shadow Temple. Kind of freaked me out. I think I have done something like that for this game, because I played A Link to the Past so much. It was not anytime recent, but like sometime probably in the 90s when I was just like a kid messing around with this game. One of the many dozens of times I played it. I think I probably did do something like that where I just went ahead and like did all the dungeons, but just got the you know, the item from it instead of necessarily being the bosses. Oh, we're being surrounded on all sides here. I didn't even need to jump down there, I'm just kind of messing around. And of course, later on, what I learned was how you could just complete... What are they? I forget which ones they are, but they're dungeons 5 and 6, I think. Which I think are the Ice Palace and the Swamp Palace. Misery Mire. And that lets you unlock the special bomb in the one store. You got the hammer and long shot, then beat the Spirit Temple after Forest Temple? Oh, that's cool. I think that's one of the reasons why I also really liked randomizers, because it lets you do that sort of thing without having to even go in like a dungeon in the first place. Now, I don't know which side we want to go in here. This I'm not going to remember. Okay. I don't think that's gonna do anything. No. Okay. Oh. Yeah, can't do it from this side. Gotta go around on the next. Yeah, I kind of remembered that there was some way you could go and you didn't have to. And that's essentially what that was. Oh, okay, I see. I have to put the statue on and then go to that door. Kind of annoying. Oh, these little... Get out of here. Alright, we'll get this fixed up in no time. But yeah, we could have spared ourselves all of that and just gone here in the first place. If I had not gone up in that other one loft. By the way, Griggles, I'm gonna ask, what time in general? You don't have to give me the exact time if you don't want me to know your time zone. But around what time is it for you right now? I'm just kind of curious, because sometimes we get people that are here and it's like the middle of the night and it's the daytime for them or something. And I'm also trying to decide if I want to end the stream after doing this dungeon, or if I should go on a little bit longer. Because if it's late for you, I might wrap it up. But if it's still somewhat early and you feel like staying up later, I might go and do one more dungeon then. Ah, 12:30? Okay. Actually, it's around the same time for me too. So we're in about the same time zone. Well, we are on the same time zone, I guess. Ah! There's definitely a secret here. I don't know where, though. This one? No. I might get some hearts from there, so let me go ahead and just do that, because I'm a little bit low. Yeah, so what do you think? Are you going to stay up for much longer? Because I think I'll just, end it at this place if you're, getting close to your bedtime, too. But if you're gonna be up for longer, I'll just do more, because I feel bad stopping when someone kind of gets on the stream towards the end of it. There's something in here, because I always remember having to come up and swim against the current while these assholes are jumping around and making life a pain in the ass for me. You would stay up for another one? Okay, awesome. Then I'll definitely do another one. Get out of here. Yeah, it's a little bit of health first. Now, see, the funny thing was, I said at the beginning of the stream, so I'm only going to stream for like a couple of hours here, probably 2. But I fully expect to actually go a bit longer, because that tends to happen when I'm streaming. So now I have an excuse to. Some would think I'm just making up. And I wouldn't really say whether or not they're right. Okay. And now we just have to hit him. Oh, he actually hit us. I thought we were invincible while doing this. I guess I have to avoid his splash, huh? Okay, very nice. Oh yeah, and if you're not familiar with this, because I mentioned this in the beginning of the stream as well, I'm playing this game on the PC, because essentially what they did was they made a PC port for this. It's not an official one, but it was fan-made. So there's a bunch of added features and stuff. Yes, you can escape from the clutches of evil monsters, we know this. So I'm trying to think. At this point, there's 5 more dungeons, correct? Yeah, I think so. So we have most of the heart pieces already, then. The partial ones that we have to find anyway. Now, I guess the question is, do we go straight to number 3, or do we decide to go further out of order? Well, I guess in keeping with the thing about this, we'll go out of order, right? So why not do the ice dungeon? Technically, do we have... Oh, I didn't get it yet. Okay. Well, we have to get that first. Trying trying to remember how to get to it. I think you have to start from down here. What I want to get is the Bombos medallion. Because you use the Bombos medallion to destroy some of the monsters in the Ice Temple without having the Flame Rod, which you would normally need. And that's what we'll get in this case. And if we're going to do that, I should probably get a couple of the magic potions too. Use our Holy Hyrule Bible. There we go. Yes, the good old Bombos medallion. My trusty companion here. So you see that witch? Alright, see you again soon, Griggles. There we go. Maybe I'll treat myself to a blue potion in case we really need it. We have plenty of money now, don't we? That's one of the nice things about this. Alrighty, we should be all set. Actually, wait. Can we? No, I think we might be able to. That's right. Ah! Bird! Betrayed me. So what I was gonna say is we wouldn't be able to get to the ice dungeon normally at this point because you need the gloves, which we don't have yet. Well, we have the gloves, but we need the upgraded gloves to lift the even heavier rocks. Because look, I'm lifting it, dude. I'm trying to lift it. It won't let me lift it. You need the better gloves. But since we use the mirror in the light world now, we never even need to use that. How silly. It's like it's completely pointless. Hey. So the only negative is using this takes a lot longer than just using the flame rod. Link, the magic flames will protect you inside this icy dungeon. It doesn't even say who it is. I think that's supposed to be Sasrala. If I read the one in the other dungeon, it probably would have told me, but, you know. I was kind of like, I don't have time for this. I'm not messing around with it. Well, may have been my undoing. Now I will never know if that's Zelda or Sahasrara. For some reason, I have the memory of it going from Sahasrara to Zelda at one point in this game. But I don't know if that happened yet. Can't remember if anything happens in here. I think it might just be empty. We'll check. Oh, there is a chest. And we can collect items. There we go. It's just the compass, so we didn't really need it. We're actually a lot more stable running than we are walking in this dungeon. Isn't that fun? So again, it's easy to comb with this. Clear the room out that way instead of slipping and sliding on us trying to murder him. And you actually get out that way. You know what's funny? I think maybe one of the first times I Let's Play this game, I was like, oh yeah, if you turn them to ice, they have a higher chance of dropping magic. But it seems like they drop magic just using that as well. So I was completely wrong when I said that. I wouldn't be surprised. Because, I mean, they were dropping full magics just like that. No problem. Hey, welcome back. You didn't miss much, Griggles. Oh, yeah, didn't mean to do that. I have a question. I don't know if you would recall this from whenever you played the game. Do you know if that's, at this point in the Dark World, if that is Zelda or Sasrala still talking to us on these magic telegram boxy things? Oh wait, they do drop in 4s. I guess I forgot about that. So they drop in 1, 4s, and 8s. Okay. Well, now I feel dumb. From what I said earlier. I guess I could pretend like I never said that. No one probably would have known the better. I don't remember what color this has to be. Typically, we'll find out in this room. There we go. The other way. We so carefully navigate around this. And we could use this hook shot to bypass getting hit. Or having to wait. Sweet. And we don't really need to hit that again. But I did anyway. Oh, we got hit there. You jerk. Well, I could actually stand there and not get hit. Maybe I moved a little bit. Try to remember if you can go any particular way here and it makes a difference. I don't think so. Slippery. I don't think it's anything. I was just trying to remember. Come on. No. There's nothing secret in here, huh? Now, technically, this takes you down to the item, but we can't access the item now. So you could have just dropped down the hole, but I was being kind of silly and just wanted to show that off. Oh my god, why is he out? Why is he out of his little hole? I think with the widescreen, they are activating further than they would, and they're actually activating when you're in other cells, which is funny. Or squares, or whatever you want to call them. Aha. Oh, it is Sastrala? Okay, cool. Yeah, for some reason I'm like, wait a second, does it at some point change where it's like not Sastrala talking to you, it's supposed to be Zelda? So for whatever reason, I started doubting what I had said earlier. I'm like, actually, that could be Zelda. But then it wouldn't make sense because she's supposed to be kidnapped at this point. Oh yeah, and that thing can turn into a... get away from me, get away from me, get away from me. I guess we'll check. I don't think there's anything in here. I want to say there's nothing in here. We already got 2 keys. Oh, and the guy there woke up at the last second. Isn't that funny? So you could go down there, but I don't think that's what we need to do right now. If I remember correctly. Yeah, don't use all your power. You fool. Buy some at the store. Sastrala is now being paid by the Witch's Brewing Shop. Yes. It's a sponsorship. Well, at least someone's getting paid for selling potions in this game. Well, I mean, I guess they would be getting paid if they were selling them. But paid for advertising, huh? Right? Don't hawk the wares if you're not making any money from it, Sastrala. Don't need to give anyone free advertising now. So, this is one of the dungeons where you really have to go out of your way in order to get to the big key, because you could easily keep on going in circles with all the different paths there are downstairs in the lower basements of this dungeon. And you kind of just have to know where it's going to be. We're almost there. Just go up from here. And here we go, at last. The big key. And where that is, it's actually pretty close to the start of the dungeon, too. But thankfully, if you're familiar with it, it's not too bad. Otherwise, this is kind of like this game's version of the water temple from Ocarina of Time. I think we can go this way. Yeah. At this point, we basically have to drop down again. But now that we have the big key, we can open up the chest. So I want to not get hit here if I can fucking avoid it. I could also just use the bombs to kill them, but it takes a second to do that. Oh, the bomb went away when I died? Really? Oh, you... Okay, then. Alright, well, what we could do is I think I can actually set this up in advance now. You can tell I'm not happy. And, yeah, if you were saying it's like the closest thing to being an actual water temple, that is true. But what I'm trying to say from my point is this is kind of like the dungeon that's easy to be the most confusing. Like the water temple was in Ocarina of Time. Not necessarily the theme of it. Oh, these assholes are terrible. So what we want to do is go in there? Yeah, I think we want to go in there. Okay, I remember this now. So now we pretty much can just do the same thing. And we should be able to get the chest all the same now. Just a slight delay. And we got our fairy back. Or one of the two fairies back we were trying to capture. I don't need to mess around with you anymore. You big jerk. Remember to push that down. Actually, I think we need the one on the other side to push down. Yeah. Ah! Oh, come on. There we go. Let's see if we get any more parts from these, but not now. Yeah, this is a good place to bring the cane to, because it helps out a lot. To skip whatever you have to do in that room. Oh, we can't even get to the treasure, though, right now. Which would actually help us out with not taking as much damage whenever we get to it. Now, if I remember correctly, so that's the room we have to go in, but let me see something here. Alright, first of all, this guy's gonna be an asshole. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this either way. Alright, let me kill him first. So I know from watching people who do speedruns of this game, you can use bombs to jump over small gaps. Don't know if I can do that here. Because I actually don't know how to do that trick either. Oh god. Oh shit. Oh, we did it. Okay, sweet. Well, I didn't expect that to work. Not bad. Oh, there was something in here. Oh, it's just bombs, though. Okay, we saved ourselves a little bit of trouble by doing that instead. Oh, this... These things are getting really annoying, aren't they? I think they're actually more annoying in this version of the game. Because for whatever reason, they wake up earlier than they normally would. Uh-oh. Get out of here, skeleton. Oh, now he woke up this guy. Really? Oh, bother. Well, let's use this again. We're running low on magic, though. Hopefully it'll be okay for the boss. Get out of here. Maybe this respawned? Let's see if we can get items from this. Nope. Worth a shot. And yes, that was a classic old song. I'm blue. I can't remember how it actually goes. The dabba dee dabba da. Whatever. Oh. What's on this side? Oh. Wow. There's a few of them. Yeah, thanks, game. Arrows are really useful right now. Okay. I don't need to take any more damage at this point. Goodness. At least we got pretty much all our magic back, looks like. So I figured out how this works. If you these like several times, or if he gets knocked out for the first one. Oh, okay, it's just the first one then. I actually thought that it would take several of them to knock him out. Yeah, and if you have the cape, you can use that. And, although it does make it hard for you to see where the hell you are. About to run out. Hey, just in time. Okay. Yes, Link, because of you, I too can escape from those evil clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you. They say that Hylia people controlled mysterious powers, as did the 7 wise men. But the blood of the Hylias become thin over time. We who carry the blood of the 7 wise men do not possess strong power anymore either. Our powers will increase if we mix the courage of the knights with the wisdom of the wise men. Only a short time remains until the gate of the castle linking the worlds open. Completely. If you defeat Ganon, this world will vanish and the Triforce will wait for a new holder. I believe in you, good luck. Yeah, we understand. Yep, and that's the end of a painful temple. True. Truer words. And we can get the hell out of here. Okay. So I think we'll end things there. We're about halfway done with the Dark World now. 3 out of the 7 dungeons. And, well, actually, I guess it's another additional dungeon because there's Ganon's Tower, so a little bit less than half, huh? But we did the whole Light World as well. So that means it'll be easy to beat when we do this a second time, whenever that may be. It'll only take another stream to complete this game, which is pretty much what I expected. But I had fun. As always, it's a pleasure playing this game. It's one of my favorites. So, no matter what, I like coming back to it. Whatever version of the game it is, whether it's the straight original version, vanilla, randomized, deluxeized, PC portized, it's all good. And I'd like to thank you guys for coming out to the stream. Thank you, Lucky Cat Greggles. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure presenting a nice Zelda stream for you guys. Thank you all for coming. Hope you all have a good night. Until I see you next time, take care of yourselves and have a good one.